Okay, we're going to do a walkthrough of a new version of ultra efficient hybrid electric vehicles. This is a 2-passenger vehicle. It's going to be about 3.6 meters long, about 1.5 wide, and about 1.2 meters high. Now, that is an airbox all the way through the centre of the vehicle. I haven't yet decided if it's just going to be this part or if it's going to be this part as well. You can see that it goes right the way along, but there is also space here, and hypothetically I could put some in here as well. That will go through there, then down here. From the top, let's show you that airbox goes all the way around here, right the way along, but at this point here it expands out, so it comes from a shape this way to a shape that way, which you can see like that. So that's the, it's really tricky, grab it between your knees. So that's the airbox there on the inside, but it comes out to like that here. And from this side you can see that airbox goes up, so the air will come in through there and then funnel upwards. From the top you've got going over here, but what we'll do is have an air hole here, so the air will go through that point and the mirror will be on here, this point just here. So we get air flying through there. Now, the 2 passengers, one will sit here with the head about here, so they're going legs, and the footwell ends right here, or actually there'll be it'll be just there. I apologise, this is quite tricky to do in to visualize in even with a with a camera. Kind of need 3D to show it properly. This will be panelled here, so the door will come open like that, and the door will come out a tiny bit like this to shape around here. From this angle you can see the heads of the people will come up in here. Right, so it's the catamaran design again. Right, so with the shaping here, so the airflow goes over here and down there, in between the two, and then down there and up. So this will be part of the spoiler, will be part of the bodywork, and it will come to a point here. Not a point, but a wedge here, whereas it will be here, and the lights will be there and there. But that will be open for the airflow joining together. Wheels, it angles ever so slightly upwards, so the rear wheels will be here. I'm redoing this part. Putting in box structure here and here. I cut this open and expanded it about 25 centimeters in scale, and the reason for that, let's see if I can show you by putting up the camera where I can see it. Yeah. Structurally, if I can put my fingers on it, that is wobbling from there to there. It's really tricky to show. If I put enough pressure on it, you can probably see it bending. Now, to stop that bending, a box structure here, so there's a triangle across here, box structure here, between here and here, etc., etc., will prevent this from moving, which will strengthen this. I know, that's how to demonstrate this. Can you see? Yeah, you can see that. It's completely flexing hugely, which is a typical problem in vehicles. I don't want entirely to rely on the door. Once the door is in that location, the door will be a square shape, which will stop this from flexing both in this direction and across that direction, but I don't want to rely on that entirely. This entire centerpiece all the way down the middle should stop any kind of flexing, twisting about the thing, and then this entire top piece here is rigid as well. So this whole part is rigid. That I've done flip twisting tests, and this part on here does not move. This, however, does slightly watch. Flex. However, it's not structural, so I'm not worried about that. The front suspension pieces are going to be hanging off of here for the wheel. The 4-bar linkage wheel. The front wheel will be on here from there and there, and then the I'll have to put that will have to be a solid bar, metal, that the suspension spring will be off of that. At all of these will be 35mm, 2.5mm thick hemp reinforced plastic pipes, which are 190 grams per meter, and that's about 100 to 120 meters worth of pipe in this whole thing, which means that their budget for the entire the frame, all of these pipes, is between 19 and 22 kilos only, which is phenomenal. At each of these junctions, I'm going to create a ball with holes in it where you'll be able to put bolts in slot, junk, and then lock nut the things on, and in here you'll put a screw thread in to the end of the pipe, and then put the bolt will go in with a T-piece on the end that will just go into a slot and go chunk, and then you'd lock nut will lock that on. So that's at every single junction here. So there's somewhere around 100-120 of these junction node points throughout the entire thing. What else? I'm probably going to... The seat will be on a frame. I'm probably going to put bars across from here to here to here to there, or at the very least put some of them there and on the other side as well, and then cross brace those to there and to there, again to stiffen up the roof part, because it is slightly flexing from side to side. It's not very much, but it is actually flexing side to side here. which we don't need. Mainly this is going up and down, and it's pushing the whole of this. You know, you saw that twisting from there and there. We've got to stop that from happening. There, behind the passenger will be space for a generator. It's going to be a hybrid electric, but I'll probably end up doing it as an independent drive, so it'll be direct drive motor with an axial flux motor here mounted to the frame with a chain drive on a swing arm. That's wheel 1, and then on the other side as well over here, then a small 3 to 5 kilowatt diesel generator with hydrogen injection into the air intake, mounted here behind, in this gap here behind the passenger. The batteries we're going to put in the base here, but they will slide. So one of the important things is this vehicle, the weight budget is 100 kilos for the whole thing. That's excluding the diesel generator, by the way. 100 kilos for the motor, battery, etc., etc. Suspension, anything. We'll use mountain bike, downhill mountain bike parks similar to the used on the Saron, including the brakes. We use Shimano brakes, hydraulic brakes, which will have vented disc metal brakes, calipers, etc. But to be able to maintain it, you know, from mountain bike parts. And so on. You can fit 2.75 19 motorcycle tyres on those. It's not a problem. What else? What else have we got? That keeps, the important thing of that is it keeps the weight way down. You can see here I did some experimenting trying to keep this trying to rigiditize this door part. Didn't work. That's why we're focusing on a box that thing, complete structured box with bracing across the thing is very, very strong, and it will come off of this main the airbox. The airbox is all boxed in and then lined, so that will be dead solid, which means that then this part here, boxed, will be solid as well. That will box, that will be solid as well, and that will stop this part flexing, which in turn everything, and then that will be boxed as well. So the whole of this section here, the idea is to make it absolutely dead rigid, so that none of this moves or none of the twisting occurs, etc., etc. I've got to move this forward a little bit because I want the door to be lined up. You can see that goes in like this. I don't want that to happen. It's good that way. The length is the same, but it's just that little thing, so that's got to be adjusted a bit. Visually, the driver's head will be here, so there'll be good vision to this, lines up here to here. Flat windscreen. The entire purpose of this is that it should be assembled as a kit car and then repairable, quite often, and maintainable using off-the-shelf parts. That's hence the mountain bike parts. But I want people to be able to repair this, so if it gets damaged or cracked, they'll just be able to, using those T-pieces in the slots on each end, undo a lock, not a nut, but a lock piece on there and there, then twist the bar, push these apart, and take out the bar and put in a replacement. the replacement part. If it's absolutely necessary to do so, we'll do an arrangement where you can put in one piece here, one piece there, and then there'll be a joining piece where an outer metal tube just goes clunk slot, and then you bolt it to lock it in place to think. That will be the sort of the repair kit where you really can't put in a new piece because whatever rigidity reasons or it's too awkward. You can think so. The idea is that people can repair their own frame. The panels, it's completely flat bottom. That will be simple plastic panels, but with metal runners for hitting ground. If you're going to hit the ground, you want a metal runner on here